Alright guys, I'm going to show you the different techniques I use during the wintertime that makes fishing more successful for me. This is just my opinion, but hope you guys enjoy. To start out, when I first get to the lake and I put in, I look at my depth finder and I look at what the water temp is. Uh, from there, I like to cruise around and look at for different structure, or maybe find the channel, or maybe even find some bait fish. Um, there's different ways. If you don't have a depth finder, you can actually use birds is a good way to find the bait fish. If you see them diving down for these for bait fish, then you know that the fish are there. It's just a great way if you don't have a depth finder to find the fish. I even use it sometimes before even looking at my depth finder. I see if these seagulls are flying around and diving down. So it's just a great way, and it's cheap because you don't have to use your depth finder. So once I find those schools of fish, I like to find out where those bass are, either below these schools or behind these schools. And what I like to do is I take a blade bait. This is probably my number one go-to bait during the wintertime. I catch most of my fish on this bait. This is a Damiki Volt. In a previous video I had caught close to 60 fish off this one bait. So as I'm looking at my depth finder, I see these shad. I like to fan cast around the schools to see where the bites are. So I'll change up my retrieve a lot to see what they're going to do, and I'll yo-yo it or yo-yo it sometimes. It just depends on how the fish are acting. If they're sluggish, they're going to want it really slow, so you're going to have to yo-yo it really slow back to your boat. But this is just a great way to find the fish. This is a great search bait during the wintertime. It's like during the summertime, you use a lipless bait. This is just like a lipless bait, but it doesn't have the rattles. So very lifelike in the water. Looks just like a shad, and the bass can't even stand it, so they always bite it. Another great bait to use once you find the fish or the schools of bait is a flutter spoon. This is absolutely best bait you could possibly use if you find a bait fish. I like to do sharp jerks, let it flutter down, and that's usually when I get the bite. So you always want to have some tension on your line when you're letting it float down. That's because you'll feel the bite. They'll just grab the bait, and if you're not feeling it, you're gonna miss it. So this is just a great bait. So you can use any type of spoon, but I like a flutter spoon. Like these heavier ones don't flutter down. So so slowing down in the wintertime is the best possible thing you can do. I know a lot of you like to fish really fast, like me. It sucks having to be patient, but that's what fishing's all about. And the next thing I do, if I'm not getting any bites, they're not biting around the schools, is I like to look at where the hard bottom is. You use your depth finder, you can usually see it depicts on where the hard bottom is from the soft. And fish are going to be around rocks, concrete barriers, bridges, pilings. Like in that last video I had where I caught all those bass, they were against a cement dam, and I mean they were just stockpiled there. So the reason why they were there is the bait fish were there, but they also had the reason why they were all there is because the concrete heats up faster, and that's gonna be like the warmest spot in the lake, which it was, and the fish just all like to school around it. So I was able to find them, and we caught a ton of fish. But moving on, when the water gets above 50 degrees, I kind of like using crankbaits more, like the flat-sided crankbaits. This is a great bait to use in the wintertime. It has less action than a normal crankbait. It's got really tight wobble, which fish tend to go after because bait fish aren't going to be flying and darting through the water in the wintertime when the water's that cold. So this is just a great bait to use. This is the Strike King flat-sided crankbait, the KVD. This came out this year. It's a great. Another good one is 6 Sense. This is actually a square bill flat-sided crankbait. I'll use this in a little bit shallower water if they're around wood and stuff. Yeah, when it gets above 50, I like to pull out the lipless crankbait. This is a one knocker. Um, I like to, you can still yo-yo and everything, yo-yo it back. So you can fish it so many different ways. You can fish it fast, reeling, let it stop. It's a great bait to use, just like the blade bait. Another great bait to use is a suspending jerk bait. This is absolutely one of the best winter baits to use. This is the Rick Clunn RC stick. It's almost like the Mega Bass. I know you guys all out there saying it's nothing like it, but I mean it's close enough and it's cheaper, so that's why I usually buy them. But this is a great bait to use in the wintertime. It's a jerk bait. Getting it down there and then pausing. Like I said before, slowing down is the best thing you can do in the wintertime. Being patient. And another good jerk bait is a Rapala Husky jerk. Smaller profile, but it works just as good. And then we have spy bait. I know you guys have heard all the hype and everything about it, and please believe the hype because this bait is awesome. This is the Duo Spin 80. This is one of the best baits I have in my tackle box right now. It if you're going to buy a spy bait, you really should buy the Duo Spy Bait 80. I know the Lucky Craft, they have a Lucky Craft, and I think a Mega Bass makes one. They don't have the same action as this one. This one right here flutters down when it's sinking. So they don't have the same action as this. I know it's a smaller profile, but big fish will bite this, trust me. I took it out, excuse me, took it out last weekend and I caught a lot of fish on it. So this is a great bait. You can fish in deep water, shallow water, slow retrieve, fast retrieve. So any time of the year you can fish this thing. Let it sink down the bottom. What I usually do is let it sink because you want that flutter action. You want the bass to see that. Then I'll slow retrieve it. And then last week it was working as I was slow retrieving. I'd jerk it and to let it flutter down. And then reel it slowly and then jerk it and let it flutter down. It's just an amazing bait. I really didn't know if I should believe the hype or not, but I saw a lot of videos, saw the action, and yeah, you should believe the hype because this bait is awesome. Go out and buy one. I know it's kind of, the price is kind of steep. It's 12 bucks a piece, but it's definitely a great bait to have in your tackle box, and it is a game changer. Next, I like to use, when the water gets a little bit warmer, is a spinner bait. I like to slow roll it. This is a Tackle Trend spinner bait. They only use Trokar hooks, which that's why I like the company so much. They make really good jigs and spinner baits. Yeah, so I get a 5-4 to 1 gear ratio reel, and I like to really just slow retrieve back to the boat. And I usually do really well on spinner bait in wintertime too. Another thing is I like to use a heavy football jig. When I find those deep structure, you know, maybe some trees or some rock piles that are really deep, I usually a heavy football jig. This is also by Tackle Trend. This is or it's called Trendsetters, my bad. They use the Trokar hooks. This is the only jig I've ever found that use the Trokar hooks, and they have some unbelievable paint finishes on them. I know Frenchie out there, I'm sorry I went out and bought these, but you were swamped with what you've got now, so I'm going to do a review on these. I'll show you an unboxing and everything about these new jigs I found. But that's another great bait to use in the wintertime, just fishing it really slow. And the fish usually can't stand it, so they'll bite it. Next, I like to use the biffle head. You can use any kind of creature bait you want on there, a worm, anything, and just bring it really slow. And then this weight isn't attached, so it's gonna go in different directions, and your hook's gonna go all over the place. So it's a great setup to use really slow. Next, everyone knows shaky head is an awesome bait to use in the wintertime. You're gonna have it flat in the bottom. Your bait's gonna be sticking up, and you're gonna fish it really slow, and the bass are obviously gonna pick it up. And then lastly, another great bait to use during the wintertime is a drop shot. This is one of my other go-to baits during the wintertime. The fish are suspended. You can change your leader any size you want to get where those fish are. So this is just, I mean, you can literally put it right in front of their face. So, and you can use any worm you want. This is a finicky tickler by Power Team Lures. Great drop shot bait. But yeah, these are my favorite techniques to use during the wintertime. Like I said, it's just my opinion. This is what works for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, you want to see other videos, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed.